know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to call his name until he call his name and call my name off God.
Well, I tell you what, I'll wait my turn to get my name called. I'll wait my turn to get my name called. I'm just a small player in the game. Ain't no doubt about that, but I do have some oddity. Ain't no doubt about that. I want to say good morning time and good afternoon time to you, and I sure hope you had a happy 4th of July. I guarantee tell you I did, and it's a good day to be alive right here, right now. That's for doggone sure. Check this out one time.
Goodness gracious alive. Goodness gracious God, big love. Man, let me tell you something. When I post this gate, I want y'all to decipher it. I'm like Jethro. I want y'all to cipher this cat here. And I think y'all got a third player. And that cat got some audio out there. He know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to call his name until he call his name and call my name off God.
Let me get my knees up in the breeze and see what's cooking out here in the world of sound breaker.
Well, see, I stood by, and when everybody got off the key, I heard world of sound breaker. Who the Stormy Weather Clear.
Hey, Stormy Weather. Just tell him I'm just sitting by reading the mail. Hey, Stormy Weather. Tell him I'm just sitting by here reading the mail over here minding my business. Minding my business, sir, break.
Right. Well, whoever it was, a 63, I left it on the T. You said they scared of me. Whoever they are, they scared of me. And when you get off the top to get key, I heard that same audio and that voice. The gate gonna tell it I'm gone.
Stormy Weather, I should be afraid, but I ain't. Hey, Stormy Weather, I know I should be afraid, but I ain't. Hello to you, Stormy Weather. Tell 6 Trey I hope he had a happy 4th, too. Hey, Stormy Weather, Motormouth Mall, your West Coast beast, right here, right now, trying to roll up on that gate from time to time. I got the sound.
People on top, and I heard somebody else call on top. I think I know who it is. But I'm not going to hear me call my name too. And I think I know who it is, but he won't say who he is. He just got that good big audio out there. But Bob Marley, you got that helper down.
Oh, I need to say Motormouth Mall. I got to put that audio up in there with the handle so you know who I am. Hey, Stormy Weather, I got to make it known that I'm out here reading the mail out here and dropping this great big old hammer. Stormy Weather, Motormouth Mall, working the small ball peen hammer. God down. Trey must have dropped that hammer on me.
I can correct it. I have been known to get things wrong. You say the man with no balls. BALLS. Let me know if I got down, baby.
Well, I was hearing him in backscatter. I was hearing 6 Trey and backscatter, but I don't hear him anymore. That's why I turned the gate on. But let me get my knees up in the breeze. Hey, Stormy Weather. I guess I can't get back up around your radio. I got down right there, break.
Yes, I'm on the low side of this workbench in Oklahoma. That's why I do that, because I want all of my babies in the Midwest to play.
Yeah, I can't get back around Oklahoma. I don't have any conditions around Oklahoma.
Well, I tell you, when Bob Marley got off that key, I heard Mr. California, just a tip from Mr. California, and then I heard that real bassy audio of the other big brother. He's never called his name. I can guess it, but Stormy Weather, I hate being wrong, baby.
Well, I got a Watergate going that shows me calling my name multiple times. Hey, Stormy Weather, I got a Watergate going right here, right now, and it's got me on there saying Motormouth Mall more than once or twice or 3 times, maybe even 6 or 7 times. Hey, Stormy Weather, I got proof that I'm saying who I am. You just can't hear me, that's all. Stormy Weather, me and all this bass got down.
No, when you're talking, I can hear your voice. I can hear your voice. You never call your name. I can hear your voice say tip it in there and out of there. You hear this gate. You hear this gate. But you never call your name. But you did then. More. That's more than my more. That have our child. I'm gone.
Yeah, 410. Well, I got a gate, and it's been rolling over here. I've said my handle multiple times. I've been rolling the gate for 5 minutes and 17 seconds. My end, your end, and everybody I could hear out here, which ain't much. Just you and I heard 63 over there for a little while. I could hear 63 in backscatter, but that was about it. Hey, stormy weather. I'm going to try to get up in your radio one more time. I got down.
My radio. You in my radio. Hey, Motorbike Ball, 63 been and gone, but you in my radio. You in my radio, and you will hear it on this kind of big gate. Man, you like, man, wait a minute, Motorbike Ball, but a little kind of bigger like me could never get no audio like that. You will never share no green big old audio with little old stormy weather. But anyway, I'm just letting you know it sounded good in my radio in Oklahoma. Stormy weather clear.
I'd be more than happy to share it with you if you asked, but you never asked. And so if you ask me, I tell you what I'm running and how to do it. Ain't no doubt about that. But the problem is most people don't want to do what I do. They got their own ideas. So when they got their own recipe for chocolate chip cookies and they don't know, how to use the chocolate chips, then they ain't going to get chocolate chip cookies. But I'd be more than happy to let you know what I'm doing. Ain't no doubt about that. Stormy weather. Motormouth Mall looking your way. If you want some audio, I can help you out there, break.
Hey, Motormouth Mall, man, I tell you what, you know I want some audio, man. Hey, Motormouth Mall, I'm on a workbench, but where I need that copy of the audio is in the mobile. I need the audio in the mobile. On the workbench, I can take it or leave it. But when I get in that big mobile and I load that big mobile down, I want audio, baby.
Well, that might not be a good idea because having a lot of audio in the mobile really does put you at a slight disadvantage. I mean, I run hi-fi audio in my mobile too, but audio in the mobile could possibly be difficult. But I'd be more than happy to tell you what I do. I run hi-fi audio in my mobiles and in my bass. I use the same thing for both, and it works for me, but it ain't for everybody. But I help you out. I'll walk you through it, everybody.
Hey, Motormouth Mall, I tell you what I did. Killer 250 back in the like around 1971, 1972. He set me up with dual Cat Biggin mics off of a Cat Biggin realistic amplifier, and them Cat Biggin, man, let me tell you something. Why I got rid of it. You talking about audio? You talking about audio, man? Goodness gracious alive. That's when I ran the Jolly Green Giant there, baby.
Two microphones at the same time with the Jolly Green Giant and all that audio, and you wonder why you got rid of it. Why did you get rid of it? You know what it is? We all want something different after a little while. We know we get out here, we do what we do, and we have what we have, and then after about, a week or 2 or 6 months or a year, we decide we want something else. I know how that goes there, Break.
Motormouth Mall. Yeah, I just thought of the name. They were Stereophonics. Twin Stereophonics. And he had them kind of big running off kind of big realistic. And I still got that. Kind of big in the realistic mixer. Goodness gracious, man! I can make my audio sound any way I want it to sound. That baby.
Yeah, 410. Yeah, I use. Well, you know me. I use a PC. I use a PC with plugins, but they got the equalizers and compressors, limiters, de-essers, harmonics, noise gates, reverb, and all that stuff. You know, I do it all on a PC to break. It's just cheaper. You can do it with hardware too, but I just use a PC.
This realistic that I have, this realistic amplifier that I have, it's a mixer. And man, let me tell you something, it's got all of that. It's got got all, and I still got, the only thing I don't have is the mics. The only thing I don't have is the microphone. But I still have that big an amplifier there, right?
Yeah, 410 was just a little one that was about, 10 or 11 inches by about 8 inches and about 2 inches thick, and it had a couple of meters on it and all the faders on the top.
No, this right here is like it was like about 10 or 12 inches wide, like about 3 inches thick, and it had like about 8 knobs on it, 8 knobs and 4 switches. Boy, that kind of big it didn't play. I also another thing I like about it, it had 4 mic plugs on it, and I used to run 2 dual D104s on that kind of big that right.
You be doing it like a quadraphonic. You be doing you could do it like quadraphonic back in the 70s. You ever listen to quadraphonic audio? Quadraphonic. Well, I was going to say quadraphonic stereo, but it was quadraphonic audio. Remember that big thing back in the 70s, to break?
I heard of him, but my focus was Greg Big Key on the base station. When we talking back there, I was running Henry 3K, driving it with a Mako 300, and I ran that stereophonic sound. But in the Mobile, I switched everything over and went AC in the Mobile, and I ran the Henry 3K in the Mobile there, but.
Back in the day, a Henry 3K in the Mobile, you had it going on, man. Holy smokes. Yeah, ain't it funny? Ain't it funny how the game has changed?
Yeah, I'm one of the big boys, but a lot of them is gone. A lot of them is gone, like Golden Arm, Colonel Leader Flea. A lot of them is gone, man. Killer 250. He was my mentor, and he's the one that set everything up that I did. He was K25 and a Slinger Zero. They call him the Kansas Widowmaker. He was the one that taught me, but I set the Jolly Green Giant up, bake.
410, right around the time that I got on the radio in a serious fashion, not when I got on the radio, but when I got into radio seriously, there were still some folks left that I wish didn't leave. Well, I didn't. I wish nobody left. I wish nobody had to go. But, every life owes a death, and it has to progress that way, and that's just the way it is. There's no way around it. But I wish that I was at the point where I am now, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago even, when I got to have those same people out here now, because there's a lot of history and a lot of stuff that we can learn. And I'm not talking about technology. I'm not talking about power. I'm not talking about antennas, but I'm talking about the way they conduct themselves on the radio, and the way they put on their show, and the way they portray themselves, and the way they play the game. That's what I wish would come back. I wish we could learn. I wish we could have a repeat with the newer folks, myself included, of the way things were once upon a time, to break.
And I don't know if anybody, if you believe me, if you listen to me, I don't believe anyone that hear me would listen to me or hear me. The way you do it locally. You do it locally. The way we did it is, boy, when you get off of work on Friday, boy, we rode to a certain location. It was a park or whatever like that, and we bumped it down, and that's how everybody growed. That's when everybody knew what they needed to do to elevate the game, pick your game up, and that's how you identified who was who. It wasn't a put down; it raised everybody up. Bake.
Oh, yeah. The public, the stomps, the neighborhood stomps, the city stomps, the county-wide stomps, that kind of stuff to let people know what they got to do and where they got to go and how they got to get there and make their decisions about where they want to be in the pecking order. Ain't no doubt about that. That doesn't happen much anymore. I think they still do the stomps up there in the northwest corner, but ain't nothing like that around here to break.
Yeah, tell you that maybe it's a little spread out for one another and things like that. But that's how you bring new CBS in. That's how you bring new CBS in. And that's why I run things. No, I don't run things, but that's how I do here in the Midwest. If somebody bumping it down and they kid what I'm not going to just sit in there all day just because I know I can see on. If they need something, I help them and mentor them, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Help them, mentor them, and help them get to where they want to be and see how far they want to take it. And if they come up there and get up on top of you, then that gives you a little something to do on your side. So, and everybody tries to strive to be a little bit better. If there was one person that kept everything a secret and everybody else was a duck and they always kept losing, it's like a dog. If you played tug-of-war with a dog, and you never let the dog win, and you always yank it out of the dog's mouth, guess what? He's going to stop playing tug-of-war. He wants to win. The little guys want to win. You got to let them win and let them know they don't always get to win. They got to work to win. But, that's how it is. The same thing, Deborah.
You're 100% right. And Murmamo, you're 100% right. Because let me tell you something. The bull almost got killed. The bull almost got shut down 100%. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. And the new ones coming in there, and the first thing what they want to do is shoot for the top. And when they feelings get hurt, and their motivation get broke when they can't come in and kill the top. Well, you can kill the top. Go to the top and ask them how, babe.
If you're always at the top, it can get real lonely, too. If you're always at the top, it can get lonely, and you can run a big station. And if you think you've got all that, and you find out that you don't make the trip, part of this job ain't just a station, it ain't just a technology. It's Mother Nature, it's the head game, it's the game, it's the whole game. And not part of the game, not just technology, not just who's got more, who's going to beat their chest and say, I got more than you. It ain't about that. That's part of it, but it ain't all of it, Deborah.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And when we call it a game, that's what it is. It's a game. It's a game, man. It's a game. Key downs are a game. And if you lose, don't get such an attitude like everybody's against you. No. What you did? What did you do? How'd you do that? Well, I keyed this and I keyed that, and then you listen. You got to have 2 years. It's a reason why you got 2 years and 1 mouth, baby.
Well said right there. Ain't no doubt about it. There's a reason why you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listening is 2/3 of the game. Ain't no doubt about that. You got to have the input right. You got to get it right. You got to file it away properly, and that's what you got to do. And then you got to use that information. And you got to understand how that information is implemented, how Mother Nature plays a role, how other stations, locations, and positions play a role. You got to know how to read your radio. There's a lot going on here. It ain't just saying, I got this, I got that, I got a 15, I got a 20, I got a 35, I got 2 35s, I got 100K. It ain't about that. You got that right, 100%. But, the newcomers, they're learning that, They're learning sometimes the hard way, sometimes not the hard way, but more often than not the hard way, that this exponential power increase and the small gains had by exponential power increases are one part of it. But there's a whole lot of other facets to the game, Deborah. It's a complicated game. People don't want to admit it. It's a complicated game.
Tell you that more about ball. And I'll tell you another thing. They more about timing. I tell you what. I train people when they get out there and they're skipping. You'd be surprised how many I have have mentored and told them about timing. But then if you want to know about timing, then you got to ask. You have to ask, what do you mean by timing? Oh, I keep my microphone. I'm looking out here. I'm doing this much. I'm doing that much. I'm doing this. Whatever. Timing.
Absolutely. Timing is a necessity. Ain't no doubt about that. Timing is an absolute necessity. And, there are times when you can have all that you got, and you might have a lot more than somebody else who might have better Mother Nature. And you got to listen to see what the responses are, who they're talking to, how often they're... If you can't hear who you're keying against, you gotta play that thing, and timing is a big part of it. Ain't no doubt about it. Sometimes the timing is it's time to stand by and wait. Are you going to get keyed on there, break?
You're absolutely right. Hey, boy, my boy, you're absolutely right. Because let me tell you something. But when I'll tell you what happens to me. I can be sitting on the workbench just like you and I talking right here, and I lose condition. If I change and say, when I recognize I need some more, when I go get in that great big mobile and put it in here, I'm going to lose condition, man. I'm going to lose condition. I don't care what it is. I'm going to lose condition. And it's going to take it back. When I key that big mobile down, them 3 hots down, it's going to take condition 15 minutes to come back around.
The conditions we have on one antenna, you can be on the same plot of land. You can be right there in your backyard. You could have your base fired up with a big old Yagi, horizontal Yagi, and you get one set of conditions. You go to a vertical antenna, and whether it be the 3 hots, 2 hots, a bounce back, or an Omni, you're going to have another set of conditions. And the time it takes to move from one to the other is sometimes the time it takes, if not more than the time it takes, than Mother Nature to take a next step there, Break.
Right. Case in point. I'm going to be sitting here on the base side with 2,000 watts out there. 2,000 watts out there on the flat side. 2,000 watts out there on the flat side. And I go get in the big mobile, and I go, oh, man. I can put 4,000 watts, 5,000 watts out there with the mobile. Yeah, guess what? When I keep 5,000 watts out there on there with them 3 hots, I lose everything. Don't nobody hear me, baby.
Yep, absolutely. That's so much the case a lot of the time, So you got to know when it's right. You got to know where your conditions are, when your conditions are, and if your conditions are. Ain't no doubt about that. There's a lot going on. But, it's a whole lot of fun, and the more you get to play all that stuff, the more you get involved in the antenna systems and the ins and outs and the intricacies of the hobby, the more interesting and the more fun it becomes. So don't let losing determine your level of happiness, because we all lose. Like Switchblade says, you win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. You lose some, you win some, you win some. Hopefully the win sums outlast or outdo the lose sums. But everybody going to get keyed on.
Real good topic. Hey, you said it all. You said it all, and it's going to happen all the time, and can't nobody change that. Win, lose, or draw, it's still the Super Bowl. Some have to lose, some have to win, but let me tell you something. The Super Bowl is going to keep on going on. So if you want to play on the bowl, you got to wait your turn. I'll go.
Yes, sir. Some have to lose, some have to win, and some have to learn. And hopefully we all get to that learning part. Hopefully we all get to the learning part. And with the advent now and the popularity of big audio, wide, full, rich, fat audio becoming more and more prevalent, that changes the game yet again there, Break. All the receivers have different desired bandwidths that they want to listen to, and some hear better in the mid-range, some hear better full range, some hear better this, some hear better that. So you got more facets of the hobby that can be altered, manipulated, changed, heard by different people in different ways. So that makes it even more complicated, they're breaking.
Case in point. Case in point. When I was running the Jolly Green Giant back in the day, and really, I came out of the radio because the 27.0 decided the Super Bowl, virtually it just went. It died. And so I got rid of stuff, and boy, I hate it to this day. I got rid of stuff, and I said, well, okay, the 11 meter band is dead. And I got rid of a whole bunch of stuff, and then it started coming back. But then I learned what did it. And that's why I'm so glad what you and a lot of others are doing out there right now to train people and let them know really what the Super Bowl is.
You know what's really good is even though, and we have to admit that even though the hobby is dying, there are more people concerned with their telephones, their internet, their Facebook, their Snapchat, their this, that, and the other, whatever they call those social media things, and they got, before that there was pagers and cell phones and computers and chat rooms, right? Well, anyway, it's all the same. It's taking people away from the hobby that would otherwise be in the hobby. And so using that social media to perpetualize or to present the interesting other facets of the hobby are probably what it's going to take to keep the hobby alive. So we can kind of go in a roundabout kind of a way to get the people interested by talking about, like you and I are talking right now. When people hear this discussion, people are going to start thinking a little bit more. They're going to want to have a little bit more engagement in the hobby, and they're going to want to have a little bit more fun in radio. But they're going to learn about it via the PC. So some people are going to get introduced to radio in a different context, in a different way, in a different style than the way I was brought into it, the way you were brought into it, and our forefathers. So it's going to be topics of conversation like this, conditions like this, and real talk that bring the people who might be on the fence or who don't even know anything about it at all into the hobby to break, and they can enjoy the game too.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. There's a lot of technology out there that's really taking, that's really, I would say, is proliferated. It's proliferated across humanity. But I'm gonna tell you something. All of those means of communication. Well, all of those means of communication, if they hack, they fall, they're gone. You and I can keep this radio down, and we can do what we're doing right now.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. A lot of people, by the way, while we're on that little topic, a lot of people realize or don't realize the importance of networking and computers and cell sites and interlinking and handshaking and cells, the way cells work and the way our phone systems work today. They don't realize how all that works, and that it's all based on being able to have contact from one site to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Well, when all that goes away, all those cell phones, all the computers, all the networking, all the internet, all that's going to go away. And guess what? That's going to leave point-to-point two-way radio. That's going to leave the hobbyists, the amateur radio operators, the CB radio operators, the pirate radio operators, everybody. It's going to leave point-to-point radio to be this source that everybody relies on for what they get for information and to get supplies and emergency services and all that kind of stuff, because everything is subject to go away real fast. But our point-to-point radios will stick and stay. They're breaking.
Right. Because see, that is something That is something that all the technology cannot take away. All the technology cannot take away airwave communication. They can, no one can take that away. Just like it's the same thing that if you and I was in a 10 by 10 room, the same way that you hear my voice across the room, it's the same way you hear me in California. I'm reading the mail.
Yep, absolutely. Now, there are a couple of things that people can do, of course. They can jam a frequency or they can jam a band. You can certainly do that with some success, but you can't do it all the time. And you can have an EMP blast that will take out anything with the semiconductor and, anything with the junction, anything of the P junction, N junction, anything like that, anything with the diode, anything with the transistor, MOSFET, you name it, all that will go away. So it would behoove people to have handy some old tube radios with glass rectifiers, not silicone rectifiers, but glass rectifiers to be able to have something there in case we do get some sort of an EMP that would otherwise blow out everything else. So make sure the good receiver, a tube radio receiver is handy somewhere. Make sure a good tube radio transmitter is available somewhere. Make sure an old carbon microphone is available somewhere. All that kind of stuff. And make sure your amplifiers don't have any diodes or anything in it that are subject to the EMP blast. And you can carry on and keep on communicating. And so it's important to understand that there could be something that could be done to disrupt a little bit of the communication, but there's technology available, old technology available, that won't be susceptible to that kind of a thing to break.
Sure. And see, I know that the thing that I'm saying is on the low end of the spectrum of what we're talking about. But I know with the technology that you're speaking, you got a lot of ears out here because when you broadcast, by the way, you broadcasting coast to coast. They vote about ball. And it's on his gate too. But see, the thing about it is, they need to understand and listen. Listen.
Absolutely. We go back to having the 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen, learn, and maybe speak. Anyway, hey, I tell you what, stormy weather has been a whole lot of fun. I'm going to get back on the side here, read the mail. I see Mother Nature doing some shifting and dipping and dabbing and flipping and flopping. And I know I ain't got all that to stick or stay too doggone long. I hope everybody out there that was standing by politely for us to have our conversation had a very happy 4th of July and a wonderful Independence Day. That's for doggone sure. Take care out there one more time. Stormy weather, radio station Motormouth Mall, working the small ball peen hammer. One fat watt at a time. I got down, breaker.
Ooh, good stuff there. Motormouth Mall, where you working at tab one tap at a time. Motormouth Mall, let me back it out of here. The pleasure was a super major on this end. Bubble on you later. Take care. Stormy weather on the workstation, Oklahoma.
There's stormy weather. Take care over there around Oklahoma on the workstation while you got that mall down in the world of sound. Sure did appreciate the mum down and everybody on YouTube. Hello, good to see you up in there. 500 in the KY, Mud Duck Radio 77 over there in Acapulco, Mexico. Good to see you up in there. Hey, Dwayne up there, I see you up in there as well. Spartan Technologies, got you up in there on YouTube. And great to see you all up in there, ain't no doubt about that. Motormouth Mall, working the small ball, peen hammer, stepping. Bye. And that was 34 minutes of a solid conversation with barely any conditions. Ain't no doubt about that. To worldwide stormy weather in Oklahoma, Motormouth Mall, your West Coast beast. Got down.